Friends, before we dive in, I want to extend an invitation into something sacred that could be part of your unfolding. I'm hosting 3 Angel Reiki Schools upcoming in person September 19th, November 7th, January 23rd. Those are all the dates when they start. When you join, you don't just receive one certification. You're initiated into 3 in the Angel Reiki School: mediumship, energy healing, and becoming an angel messenger yourself. This is a one-stop sanctuary where all of your spiritual gifts are activated and grown together, your unique gifts. People are called to this program for so many reasons. Some are searching for a second career that is deeply fulfilling, one where they can witness lives transformed through the creative, soul-led work that they're putting out into the world, one that starts with the Angel Reiki School. Others feel the longing to create an income that supports the life they've always dreamed of: more time freedom, the ability to take family vacations, to be there walking their children to school and be there when they get home from school, to make the memories that matter most in this life. I often remind my students to say out loud, I am a high 6-figure angel medium. Time and time again, they come back to share how claiming that vision and going through the Angel Reiki School has opened new doors to financial abundance, radiant joy, and the freedom to live life on their terms. Yes, it does take devotion to build your own business, but the Angel Reiki School is where you begin. You might not yet understand why your soul is being pulled here, but once you step in, I promise you'll feel it. The remembering, the recognition, the sense of coming home. And because the Angel Reiki School weekends are so intimate, so wonderful, alumni love coming back, that you don't have to, but they love the energy so incredibly much. They asked to come back. So we did include an alumni option where you can. But because the Angel Reiki School weekends are so intimate, half of our in-person dates sell out. So if you feel that stirring in your heart, trust it. Save your space now. I keep our groups small on purpose so that I get to know every single one of you well, and join us for one of the upcoming Angel Reiki School weekends. Remember, that's in September, November, or January. All of them start on a Friday evening at 6 p.m. and all of them end by Sunday, somewhere in between 12 to 2. You can register at theangelmedium.com/get certified. Step into the Angel Reiki School today and begin to embody your spiritual gifts to the fullest expression. Everyone who joins the Angel Reiki School gets access to both the online and in-person school. Join today, theangelmedium.com. Now, here's today's episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Angels and Awakening podcast. I'm your host and author, Julie Jancius. Friends, this month I've been reading to you from Joan Wester Anderson's book, Angelic Tales. I'm so grateful to the publisher for allowing me to do this. You can purchase this book anywhere books are found, but they're true stories of heavenly canine companions. And I know I'm not the best reader. I read to myself all of the time, and I don't normally read out loud because of my voice, kind of protecting my voice. But I love this story. I cannot tell you how much I love this story, and I can't wait for you to hear it. It's called New Leashes on Life. My dogs have been scamps and thieves and troublemakers, and I've adored them all, by Helen Hayes. It's a little quote that kind of starts off this chapter. The chapter begins, "It may seem unbelievable, especially to those without pets, but in times of approaching disasters, some people will not leave their homes if they cannot take their pets with them. In fact, an international study found that 44% of those who stayed behind when Hurricane Katrina hit did so because they wouldn't abandon their pets. This decision, although understandable, puts everyone at risk. That's why people involved in large-scale rescue missions emphasize the necessity of having some kind of pet disaster plan and a kit that contains food, water, photos, and medications so they can grab and go. Owners should have the names of a few pet-friendly motels near the evacuation route because many accommodations do not accept animals. Karen O'Toole of Paradise Valley, Arizona, has seen more of these situations than she cares to remember. She always had a heightened sensitivity to the smaller living things around us, she says. As a child, she worried about inadvertently crushing ants under her feet, and she buried dead birds with tears flowing down her cheeks. When I met someone who'd never had pets or any animals, who doesn't like animals, I feel sorry for them, she says. They are missing out on one of the greatest pleasures on earth. Thus, it was not a surprise that Karen ultimately became involved in a pet rescue mission. As an award-winning Hollywood writer, production coordinator, she also started a website where rescuers share information. It was not surprising that when she heard about Katrina and the devastation it left in its wake, she was almost first on the scene. I had seen one too many pictures on television of people hanging out of attics and abandoned pets everywhere, she said. I had to go. Armed with a crowbar and her usual determination, she navigated her way into the center of the disaster. My first view was a wet dog standing on a truck roof, imprisoned by the rushing water around him. He barked, but camera crews went right by. It appeared that no one was going to save Louisiana's pets. It was up to Karen and her colleagues. Little did she know she would end up living and working for 3 months in the parking lot of a grocery store. Today, the emphasis on lost or homeless animals is to attempt to rescue them for the ultimate adoption rather than putting them to sleep. Rescuing does not only mean simply catching the stray, but also following through with whatever he or she needs, searching for his original family, spaying, attending to medical needs, microchipping, and even administering a temperament test. Healthy animals are then easier to find homes for, and their owners usually understand they need to fix them to prevent population growth. As everyone agrees, animal-loving volunteers are the lifeblood of this movement. Some are actual rescuers, others donate hours at the shelter, and some foster animals for a time until a permanent home is found. Oh, are these folks earth angels? Don't you know of so many people who rescue animals? They are just the best people in the whole wide world. I'm going to continue on. It gets really, really good. Oh my gosh. And such work is far more fruitful now than people can connect with via the internet. Rescuers communicate through emails, and websites can often hook up a rescuer halfway across the country with an animal that needs help. When pet rescuers go into an area, there's no set format. They simply look for animals in distress and attempt to meet the situation in some way. They talk to everyone they can, keep notes on people who are sympathetic or who have a place for ailing animals, or groups who will perhaps contribute food and other items, or who can drive animals to safe areas. Much of their work is a step of faith. So it was in New Orleans. I cannot describe the time I spent there rescuing animals and not rescuing them, said Karen. So many were missed, and for others, we were just too late. Those who didn't drown frequently died of starvation. There wasn't a morsel of food anywhere. Everything in the city was rancid, waterlogged, and decayed. We were a handful of people trying to rescue a city of pets. As hard as we worked, there were not enough of us. There could never be enough of us. And yet, as always, good things happened. There were tiny bits of encouragement and some amazing coincidences. Wait until you hear this. One day, Karen was working in the parking lot headquarters when a young pregnant woman approached her. The girl was leading a beautiful black and white dog that had the look of a border collie. I'm Tammy, and this is Sasha, she told Karen. You're one of those pet rescuers, aren't you? Yes, I am. I've just gotten into a FEMA trailer, but they won't let me take the dogs, Tammy explained, her voice quivering. I've only had Sasha for a few months, and she's a good friend, but she's been living in my car, but tears spilled out of her eyes. Sasha reached up and licked Tammy's cheeks. Her eyes were filled with sympathy, as if she were the caretaker instead of the other way around. She needs a real home, but I'd like her to stay in the city so I could visit her, Tammy continued. Can you do that for her? Karen didn't know what to say. How could she promise a home for this dog when everyone in the city seemed to be homeless? But that was what her volunteer job involved. She would have to try. The two women and Sasha went over to the female trailer park, and Karen started making phone calls to numbers she had jotted down on slips of paper. The tow truck driver who had wanted to lend a hand, a volunteer she had met this morning in the parking lot. I have this beautiful and gentle dog that needs a home, Karen said over and over again on the phone. It seemed no one could help. Then Karen connected with a friend of a friend of a friend. Her name is Tina, and she lives in another parish about 25 miles from here, Karen told Tammy, but it's not in the city. Tammy knew the town she was speaking of. It was rural and one of the most decimated areas, not what she was hoping for, but she was aware of how difficult this search was going to be. Go ahead and call, she told Karen. We have to try. But Tina, this unknown Good Samaritan, was dead set against taking Sasha. I lost a dog of my own, Gabby, about 6 months ago, Tina explained over the phone to Karen. I looked everywhere, but once the hurricane hit, I had to face the fact that she was probably gone. You know how that hurts, and I've lost some horses, and my house is mostly destroyed. Tina was almost ready to hang up the phone. Tammy could hear part of the conversation, and she looked desperately at Karen. Maybe just for a little while, Karen pleaded with Tina, her heart starting to pound. She's a lovely, lovely, well-behaved dog. There was a silence. Then Tina sighed. Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to foster for a few weeks. Oh, that's wonderful. Karen was overjoyed. Despite her problems, Tina had a warm manner. And Karen's intuition had told her, listen to this. And Karen's intuition had told her that Sasha would be safe and loved. And Karen sensed another positive feeling, something hovering just outside of her grasp, but there was no time to ponder. Quickly, they arranged to meet. Sasha needed to join her new caregiver before Tina had changed her mind. It took almost an hour to get there because the roads were still difficult to navigate, but eventually Karen, Tammy, and Sasha pulled up at that meeting place. A woman, Tina, started towards them. Karen reached across the front seat where Sasha had been snoozing and opened the passenger door. Sasha awakened, yawned, and got to her feet. When she saw Tina, she tensed up, then started to bark and continued to bark. Karen grabbed the leash before the dog could scramble out of the car. Sasha was straining at the leash, yet seemingly ecstatic rather than upset. And then Tina screamed with joy, Gabby! Gabby! She ran to the dog with her arms outstretched. It's Gabby, the dog that I lost. She looked at Karen, her eyes shining. This is my dog. This is my dog, Gabby. You brought her back to me. Beautiful soul, I just want to take a moment and say I am so excited to share something truly sacred with you. This October, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, we'll gather for the Women's Retreat. 3 days of deep rejuvenation, angelic connection, and soul remembrance. If you've been feeling disconnected, unsure of your future, or longing for something more, this retreat was created just for you. Imagine stepping away from the weight of daily life into an energetic sanctuary where you're held, supported, and guided back to the truth of who you are. Here you'll laugh, release, and reconnect with your soul's deepest yearnings. This is your time to reconnect with your angels and awaken to the next chapter of your journey. And because I never want finances to stand in the way of a retreat, I've created a scholarship option just for this retreat. If your heart is called, this space friends, I promise it's waiting just for you. Come join us at theangelmedium.com/retreat. Say yes to your soul. Say yes to your angels. Say yes to this retreat. Questions? Email me at julie@theangelmedium.com. And now, here we go, back into the show. Karen released the leash and Gabby leaped out from the car up against Tina. Tina buried her face in her dog's fur. Gabby, oh, Gabby, she kept murmuring. Karen and Tammy were speechless. Given all the stray dogs in Louisiana, how could this have happened? If Tina had refused to reach out, if she had decided to be practical instead of loving, it wouldn't have happened. Everything had to go right for this strange and wonderful connection to happen. Perhaps this was what Karen had sensed with her intuition as she started the drive to meet Tina. Had that unexpected feeling of well-being been a message from the heavens encouraging her to keep trying despite impossible odds? Gabby/Sasha, still barking, still leaping joyfully, Karen reaching for her car keys. There were a lot more animals waiting for her. Oh, there's another little story that continues on here, but I just want to take a moment because sometimes these chapters contain multiple angel stories. And I just want you to know that there are so many times in life where something seems impossible, but there's just this little energy within your being that's like, keep trying, keep going, keep trying to figure this out. Make the call, even though you think it's impossible. Write the email, even though you think it's impossible. Make that connection, talk to that person, do the research, even though it feels impossible. And I know, friends, that there are times when just things feel impossible in this life. But what I know is that God, Universe, Source works through you. Every single one of you, God is working through you. And my dad used to always just tell me, Julie, if you just listen to that little soft voice within your heart, that little soft voice, it doesn't push, it doesn't shout, it's just there with information. And when you get silent and you get still, you tune into that. And it's really, really true. There is nothing that God, Universe, Source can't do. There is no challenge too big. No challenge in your life that you have is too big for God, Universe, Source to solve. It's a matter of, in our own being, as we live our lives, we either tend to think, oh, I can't do this. I can't, and when we do, there's this energy that comes up of a boulder in front of us, just kind of shutting down our energy to what's possible. It is your job to do work on yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody else can come into your physical body and make you do your spiritual work, think more positive, turn your mind around, except for you. But when you do that work and you just start to think to yourself, you know what? I don't know how, but I know that God can work miracles. That miracle becomes possible for you. I believe that all of these angel stories are here and God wants us to share them, because when we see how miracles have worked in the lives of others and changed the lives of others, we believe that more is possible for ourselves. And when you believe that there is nothing that God, Universe, Source can't do in your life to bring you to the place that you want to be, you remove that boulder from in front of you. You lift your energy with belief and with faith, and you really open all of your energy to this notion that is, God, Universe, Source, I don't know how. I have no idea how you're going to do this, but this is what I need. This is what I want. This is what is calling to my heart. And when we pray, we are opening ourselves in the exact same way. We're opening up our energy to all possibilities. You don't have to know how. You don't have to know how God is going to work that miracle in your life. You don't have to know how everything is going to turn out. Your job is just simply to have belief. Your job is just simply to have faith. And I can't believe this story. I mean, I just love this story so much. Here's Karen, who feels called in her heart to go from Arizona to Louisiana to help rescue animals. She goes, and as you work with different people, you can feel a person's energy. You can feel when a person feels shut down or cold, and you can feel when a person feels warm and approachable. And here she has this dog that she's calling Sasha, and they're just thinking, okay, making phone call after phone call after phone call after phone call. Nobody is going to take Sasha. And she's got this one last person that she can reach out to, Tina, who feels cold and distant. But something within Karen says, reach out to Tina, call her, make that call. And, that was within Karen's free will to go, you know what? No, I'm not going to listen to my intuition. Tina just feels like a cold person. I'm not going to reach out to her. But Karen didn't do that. She listened to her intuition and she goes, there's a chance, there's a possibility. I'm going to make this phone call. And so she reaches out to Tina, brings Sasha to this dog to meet Tina, to stay with her. And it turns out that this is Tina's long lost dog, Gabby. And, if Karen hadn't listened to her intuition that day, the dog and the owner would never have been reunited. I think that is the most how your intuition operates. You think about your intuition all the time and you're like, my intuition, this small, still voice within me keeps telling me to do this. I don't know. But I am telling you, because I have seen it through, working with tens of thousands of people, that when you listen to that small, still voice within your heart, when you listen to your intuition, your heart space, oh my gosh, that is where miracles happen. Friends, I'm going to read this other story another day because today is long enough. But I want to leave you with this. Are you listening to your intuition? Are you ignoring your intuition? If you're ignoring it, I want you to ask God today, where could I be listening to my intuition more? What would you have me know? What would you have me do in this moment right here today? Listen to it, see what happens, and let me know what miracles are showing up in your life. I love you so much, friends. Have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day. Beautiful souls, before we close, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here, for listening, for walking this path of radiant energy oneness alongside me. Your presence means so much. If you feel called to go deeper, there are so many ways that we can journey together. The Angel Reiki School, the upcoming women's retreat, the Angel membership. In September, we begin a brand new course in the Angel membership called Clearly Hear Your Intuition. And in October, we're starting a course called Find Your Purpose in 30 Days. These are soul-shifting, life-changing offerings, and I would love to hold space for you inside them. You can join the Angel membership to receive these courses or simply purchase them on their own at theangelmedium.com/membership. Or if you want to purchase them on their own, you can go to theangelmedium.com/shop. And now let's take a moment together. I want you to take 3 deep breaths in and out. With each breath, feel love moving through you. Ask your angel the question or questions that are resting on your heart, and then listen. Their whispers arrive as intuition, as knowing, as peace. Friends, if you long to hear your angels more clearly, don't forget I've got a course for this coming up in September where you can really start to hear your intuition more clearly. I'll walk you through step by step. Until next time, friends, breathe, trust, and know that you are never alone. Your angels are always, always, always with you. Love you.